What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Two Beers of the Band podcast. My name's Harkos. I just edit everything around here, but I wanted to welcome you to part 2 of the great conversation right here with Admonish exclusively, right here on Two Beers of the Band podcast. If you have not seen part 1, make sure you go and check out part 1 and then come on back here for part 2. All right, caught up? Let's go ahead and get in part 2 of the conversation right here with Admonish exclusively on Two Beers of the Band podcast.
Have you ever considered giving up music?
Yeah, a few times.
Really?
Yes. So the easy answer is yes. The business got to me, the industry got to me, the music got to me. And when I say the music, like the music didn't sound personal and emotional anymore. It sounded really generic and dry, and I didn't enjoy it. The business changed when streaming came in. It really affected me. Like, I understood the industry. I understand industries change every 5 to 10 years, but when streaming came in, it really hit something in my soul. I was like, say music no more. I had this philosophy about business. If you're not in business for purpose, your business really won't be successful because there's nothing that your customers can gravitate to and hold on to. So I tell this to my clients all the time. Money is a byproduct of purpose when you do business. So if you make a cheeseburger and you open your business, everybody's going to want to get the cheeseburger because it's brand new. But because it has no flavor and it has no soul in it, and you have no, wow, I made this for you because I want you specifically to enjoy it. And if you make it for, I'm going to make this burger for 80,000 people to eat it, you kind of lose the flavor and the taste and the soul of it. So when I lost the purpose and I was only focused on money, I gave it up because it didn't make sense to me anymore. I had to find the purpose again. So at that point is when I switched to make it clothes, because everything I felt when I wrote a song, I felt when I designed a shirt or a hat. And I was really dealing with it. And if one of my real good friends wouldn't have called me one day for a beat, it was funny. He called me for a beat. He's like, I need a beat. I just work with somebody in Motown. And I was like, man, I went through the whole spiel. I don't do music no more. I don't love it. I don't this. How that I find all that energy in creating clothes. And I text him the very next day and I was like, I made that beat. And he was like, what? I think he gave up. I was like, I don't know what, but you triggered something. I went and got the equipment out, plugged it up to the computer, and I made a beat. And that was 2 years ago. And I've been active ever since. But yes, I actually gave it up because I didn't love it. I didn't love everything outside of creative music anymore.
So the universe came back to you and said, no, you're not done yet.
The universe told me this is you. And the universe told me your wife has been telling you this for years. Every time, and it's that hearing, listening thing. And something I've learned in business is you can't sell your product to the people closest to you. Because, to my cousins, I'll always be Derek. I'll never be Admonish music. When I send them a song, they could say, this is incredible, and never listen to it again because I'm not Jay-Z. I'm not Nas. I'm Derek. So that, in regards to my wife, was the advice I was getting that was the right advice was too close to me. And when I came back to music and she closed that door in my studio and said, I told you this was you. And that's when I stopped. I was like, I don't care if she's telling me, go get toilet paper. I'm not hearing her no more. I'm listening. And the universe absolutely kicked me and told me, everything you want to do in life, you want to touch people, you want to impact people, you want to do this, you want to do that, everything's possible because of music. And that's when I jumped right back in heavy and said, yeah, this is my purpose.
So do you think all indie artists should sit back and feel the universe and
Absolutely.
just be quiet and just sit and say, what am I supposed to do? Or maybe even ask, what am I supposed to do? Because a lot of artists, especially here in Nashville, you have so many different things coming at you all the time, from your music, the work you do outside of music, just trying to live life, trying to hang out, trying to be young, trying to have friends. It's so much. It overwhelms a lot of young artists who don't know how to deal with it.
Yes.
So your advice to them would be just sit, be quiet, let the universe tell you where you need to go.
I love the fact that we're here right now. I would tell every artist, find your form of meditation. Find your form of quiet, sit still, and just be. I don't care if it's the park. I don't care if it's your couch. As long as you're not laying down on your bed, because if you meditate when you're laying down, you're falling asleep.
I wish I could do
So you find this. Make sure you find your space where the universe can present what you and listen, because I've had songs, experiences, or opportunities pop up where I was in a space that was super unfamiliar, but I was paying attention to everything. And in the exit plan, how did exit plan come about? I was on a highway and I missed my exit twice. And literally what popped into my head when I missed the exit wasn't, I missed the exit. It was the situation that was annoying me at the moment. So I had this issue that I was involved with, and I'm like, it had me thinking I did something wrong. So I was going through the scenarios like, I didn't disrespect the person. I was like, no. So I was like, this, no, that was not this. I didn't disrespect them. I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. And then I missed the exit and I did a U-turn. And not paying attention to the GPS or the exit signs, missed it again. And I was like, oh, just let it go. Like, you don't know why. You can't be in someone else's mind. You can't be in someone else's heart. So why are you stressing what they're thinking when you don't even know if they're thinking that? So I was like, sometimes you got to let it go. Just let it go.
What emotions are the easiest for you to write about?
Oh, sadness, depression, stress.
Is that because you're a creative? Because it seems like a lot of creative people go through those same exact emotions.
Yeah.
And those emotions are a little more prevalent.
Yeah. I think more so in entrepreneurs and creatives, because you're tapping into the most vulnerable portion of you. And the fact that you are showing all of you to the world is like, they don't like me. And I've learned that sometimes it's not that they don't like you, it's that the people who do, you're not in front of. So it's kind of a metaphor for life. Like, if you're around toxic people, it's not that you're toxic. You just around the wrong people. So yeah, like creatives, Those emotions for me though wasn't because I'm a creative. I kind of felt them again when I left music and started doing business, started my businesses. But those emotions were more so the life that I've experienced. And one of the biggest compliments ever, and these two people, even though they're close to me, never spoke about it, and they never spoke about it to me. So what they said was in two separate occasions, not knowing what they had to say. The first one was when I finished hip therapy, and my wife and I were on a long drive. We're listening to the album, and album finished. And because I had my album on repeat in my car. She stopped it, and I was like, all right. I didn't say nothing. I gave her space on that. She was like, that is the best album you've ever made. And I was like, why? And she like, because you sound grown, you sound like you forgave, and you sound like you're done with being stressed, depressed, and angry. And I was like, what did my other albums sound like? She that they all sound angry. She that the way you attack your vocals was angry. What you wrote was angry. And I felt something lift when she said that. And one day, my brother Suit, we were working together on some, and we had the album playing in the background. And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Huh?" He goes, "You sound at peace." And I was like, "I do." He goes, "Because all through my career, I've done songs to my father. I lost my father when I was 16. My father was my best friend, and I would make songs to him. Every couple of years, I'll make a song and I'm speaking to him." And he was like, every time you wrote a song to your dad, I felt like I was invading the conversation. And I felt like I felt like nobody could be around you because you're angry because you're not here. He was like, the song that you just played to your dad sound like you're celebrating his life, you're celebrating the relationship, and it sound like you're good. And I was like, dang. Those two conversations really took me like, and what it made me do is I finally said to myself, I found me. Because I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be upset. And, so hip therapy is the turning point of, okay, I'm good. Where I'm at, I'm good.
Do you think a lot of young hip hop artists approach music in an angry style, a defensive style? They approach music as kind of I'm going to beat you down and make you enjoy this. Yeah. Instead of opening up and being themselves. And for the artists that truly have beautiful voices, they kind of shy away from that because it just doesn't fit the mood, the song, what I wrote about. I have to be hard. Do you think that is a fallacy that a lot of young artists approach hip hop with?
Yes, because so we have a lot of guys that first of all, we have a lot of guys that are just chasing money. So you have people, executives, whoever manager that are behind them saying, "Hey, this is what selling. So you need to be here." You have different forms of anger. So when you have the selfish anger, and when I say selfish anger, I'm talking about you want to beat the well up. It's like, okay, are you always angry? Like, is this something that you trigger when you get into the studio? And then you have the other form of angry where you're mad at the world for what it's doing. And your anger is really a cry for, yo, this needs to stop. That's different. That is relatable. That's personal. The anger of every single song, you want to kill everybody, you want to beat everybody up. It's not it's not real. And that's why a lot of that doesn't have longevity. When you look at artists who have long careers, you're gonna look at they're angry, you're gonna look at they're happy, you're gonna look at the celebrations, you're gonna look at the frustrations, you're gonna look at the lows, the highs, and the reason why is no one is angry all the time. No one is happy all the time. So I always, try to tell artists these days, I tell artists all the time, like, just be you in the studio. If you watch news and something triggered you, let's create a song about that. If you walk down the block and somebody complimented you and that made you feel good, let's write a song about that. Or songs that be what? We don't know. We didn't hear it yet. Let's finish the song and let's figure out what we want to do with it. But being angry all the time, the other thing, speaking of the universe, what you give, you get. So if you're constantly angry, why are you mad that somebody's angry at you? Change your attitude. Change the song.
Which one of your songs is your favorite and why?
Oh, so it's called Build Your Legacy. And it's 2 albums away. And the reason why it's my favorite song, I've reached a point on that song where the first note of the song makes me feel good. And like, I noticed it because one day I had it on repeat and it was a background music for me. When I listen to my music in the background, for me, is the bass okay? Like when I'm not paying attention to it, is the bass okay? Are the kicks to it? So it just kept playing. And every time it started, I felt good. I felt excited. And Build Your Legacy is absolutely my favorite song. And I think that is it might be the final chapter of me writing songs to my dad. It's a couple of bars in there. It's not a whole song about him. It's more about you created a foundation for me. I have this phrase I say like my grandfather, his foundation was dirt. My father's foundation was grass. And my dad's foundation, what he created for me, was concrete. So now I could build something on the concrete. And that's what I'm saying in that song. And I'm trying to say, like, my pops passed away of he was a heroin addict and an alcoholic. So a lot of people saw that. And in the song I say my papa wasn't a Rolling Stone. So my dad loved my mom, my dad loved my sisters, my dad loved me. And to me, that's the concrete that he built. All my nephews, all my cousins, everybody loved my dad. And so when I speak about my pops, everybody remembers that, the love, the foundation. So on that song, I'm basically telling him, yo, you created a dope foundation for me, Pop. And that foundation is going to allow me to leave an estate for them. So we went from dirt to grass to concrete to an estate. And that's why, like, what's my purpose? My purpose is to build a legacy. And that legacy is giving. That legacy is helping. That legacy is putting my hands on so many backs. Because when I put my hands on those backs, it's going to compound, and those hands will be on everybody else's back. So that's absolutely my favorite song.
So when I hear that song, it's going to translate to me exactly what you just said.
Yeah. Yeah. I say a line in that. I say on the hook, I say, Lord, clear the path as I build my legacy. And that right there is saying, I know there's struggles. I know there's mountains and valleys and peaks and oceans. But as long as I know that you can clear that path for me, I can create everything I can for that.
What is the top of the mountain for you?
You know what? That's another great question. I don't believe there's a top to the mountain. And the reason why I say that is I've learned in my life that my true intentions are to learn and work. And when I say work, I'm not saying I'm never going to retire and I'm going to consistently do backbreaking work. Work for me can be I need to find new ways to give. I need to find new ways to help people. And so I don't see an end to that. I don't see a mountaintop. And I don't think anybody should have a mountaintop because when you stop learning, you stop living. I don't want to sit on a rocking chair the whole day. I want to do something. I want to play football with the kids. I want to bang on some drums. I want to laugh with my wife. I want to cook something. Like I always want to learn. Like, oh, what is that? Apple crumb cake? How'd you do that? So I don't see a mountaintop. I just see that. It just continues going.
It's a step forward.
100%.
You're always stepping forward, no matter what, in your personal life, in music, in production, everything one step forward.
Yep.
No
That's
steps back. One step
I love that.
forward, no steps
Step
back.
forward.
What is your favorite part of music? What do you enjoy the most about making music?
Wow, you got a lineup of great questions. My favorite part of making music is the moment. So the moment is it's dope. And it can happen when I'm writing a song. It can happen when I'm in the middle of the production. But the moment I get that feeling where I'm like, woo, if I'm making music, it's what we call a stank face. Like I could sit there playing keys, but when I go, woo, it makes me think like that. I make that when I'm making a song. Sometimes when it comes to lyrics, it's either when I'm writing and I get that moment and I do the same thing. I'm like, ooh, I look around and I'm like, and my wife said, "What happened?" I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I should tell you this or let you read it. Like, and she's like, "Wow, you're crazy." And sometimes when I'm in the booth, I hit the cadence right where I heard it in my head. My goal with every single time I make music, my goal is, does this sound like it does in my head? For the way it sounds in my head is absolutely incredible. How do I get it there? And when I hit a cadence, and I'm like, and sometimes it messes me up because I could be doing my verse and I got my eyes closed and I admit it and I'm like, woo! I'm like, oh, Dad, I gotta do it again. But I call it the moment when I'm on stage and when I get the butterflies of them singing the lyrics back, or it gets to a point where I don't even have to say this because they saying it, that's a scary feeling right there. That moment is like, they got it. Like, it's always amazing to me. Like when I see somebody with my clothes on, it's amazing. I'm like, that was a drawing. And it's on that person's head or that person's back. When I'm walking and I hear my song, I'm like, it resonated with somebody. That's incredible. Like it still hits me to this day. Wow, you like my music. I can never get over that.
Does your music heal you?
100%. 100%. Every time I write a song to my dad and my mom passed away. My mom passed away in 2015. Every time I write a song to them, all the emotion, all the, I guess you could say, tears come out. The song La 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 that I did for my wife, every time I listen to it, it's like, it makes me feel proud that I did an entire song to my wife and everything in the song is true. There's no exaggeration. Exit Plan. When I listen to Exit Plan, I'm like, it helped me. And I've gotten messages, yo, that song helped me. I got a message one day when somebody's like, yo, I don't get high no more. And I was like, right? They're like, yo, I smoke weed all the time. And when I heard that song, I was like, I don't have to smoke weed no more. And I was like, it's crazy because it did what it was supposed to do. I just want you to listen. How you take it, you take it. So I have songs that are absolutely healing and hit therapy. That's part of the double entendre of the title.
Yeah. What makes you happy, truly happy?
God and family, without a question. Without like the small things make me super happy. I'm gonna tell you something that's small that makes me super happy. Every day when I brush my teeth, after I brush my teeth 2 or 3 times a day, put water on my face. That water, when it touches my face, I'm so grateful for that. It refreshes me, it resets me. So that makes me happy. Like when I wake up and see my wife and I'm like, yo, the person that I wanted to spend my life with, I spend my life with. When my kids text me, when my nephews, I help my sisters raise my nephews and nieces when they text me. When I'm sitting there in my headphones at 2:00 in the morning and I'm like, that makes me so happy. It's like, yo, what happened? I'm like, whoa. When you wake up in the morning, you listen to this, it's gonna be something different. That, like, though, just you know what? Creativity and my family, God, those 3 things make me so happy. Because they all relate to me helping people.
If you could sit down and have a drink with anyone, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
I know he would have his Budweiser, and she would laugh at me because I got my tea. Not because I'm not drinking Budweiser, but because it clicked. Because when I was a child, he would always tell me, don't drink soda, don't drink this, you're an athlete. I would love to sit down with my pop and have a conversation. I used to want that conversation because I wanted to hear if he was proud of me. But I would like to have that conversation now, like, what's going on, huh? Yeah.
Do you think he's proud of you? Looking down?
I know he is. I know he is because I say that not arrogantly. I say that because I'm not in the streets. I'm not doing things that would make him or my mother upset about me. I'm the youngest of my siblings, and for them to see me answering the phone call and giving them advice and guiding them when they're stressed out, they'll be proud of that. Like, I think the man I've become, my parents would absolutely be proud of me.
What is the coolest thing that has happened to you because of music?
Oh, got a whole lot of beliefs. Okay, my favorite MC of all time is Rakim. And years ago, my one of my good friends he was a stylist back then, and he called me one time for a session, and he was like, I got this video I need to shoot, and Rakim's gonna be there, and I was like, oh, that's cool, but he was like, no, I want you to come. So I went and walked in, shook his hand, and I didn't realize what was about to happen. So my boy was like, yeah, he was. And Rakim was like, let me hear something. So I start rhyming, and he stops me, and he recites the last line I said. He was like, ooh. He said, free 1,200 way to the techniques. And I was like, and then I spent like 4 hours with him just hanging. Like, Derek and Rakim were just hanging out, talking music, talking life. That is absolutely one of the dopest things that have ever happened to me because of music. Me being involved in music meeting someone that I highly, highly, highly respected and admired, and him acknowledging me as an MC and acknowledging me as a human and having that conversation. That was one of the dopest experiences. Yeah.
What is the most useless talent that you have?
Oh, one of the most useless talents. Dang, that's a good one. What's something I'm super talented in, but both. I card I I card poking very well.
Okay, well, at least one day a year, that's something you can really lean on. Let's talk about videos, music videos. You do have music videos out there for your music, and I think that is very important for artists to have. What are your thoughts on music videos?
Um, in my opinion, and this is how I like to shoot videos. I always every time I write music, I envision a movie. That song is a movie in my mind. And I've always felt that um the video should reflect wholeheartedly like the song like a movie. And when it's not, it's kind of like what was the intent then? So when I shoot, funny enough, Exit Plan music video was shot by like a lot of people don't believe it, but my wife shot the video. I edit the video. You know what? That's one of my useless talents, editing video, because I don't like it, but I have to do it. It's a talent I've acquired that I really don't like. But the scenery of it, the darkness, the rain, all of that. To me, that's what videos should look like, because that's the video to me represented how I felt and what I wanted people to escape when I wrote it. But they're huge marketing tools. If they're done correctly, they can be super, super, super effective. That video I turned into 3 components of content: the hook, the first verse, and the second verse. Those are components of content that I use instead of it's a video, but it's also social media content. So it's hugely important, videos, because now there's a face to the audio. Now there's someone that individuals can relate to or begin to understand. So I've always thought videos are hugely important.
So, a music video should be somewhat cinematic.
In my opinion, you got some people that just I think videos should just be videos. Or for me, that's because I'm a visual person. That's why I say that. I'm a visual person.
I agree with you. If I watch a video that follows along with the song, the next time I hear the song, I don't have to create the video in my mind. The video's already been created, and I can just, because my mom works in pictures. When I hear music, I try to unintentionally, I try to create a video in my mind for the music.
Yeah.
And certain songs in any genre, it doesn't matter what, I enjoy the song. But if I was a producer, they said, all right, here's the song, make a video. I couldn't do it because there are points in that song where they just kind of go way out here.
Yeah.
And I'm not a creative, but if I was trying to create a video for that song, I would have to get with artists and say, what are you trying to say right here? Because I just don't get it. or certain songs that are older than you and I love the song, but there are points in the song I'm just like, I don't get it. What are you trying to say? If I had a music video to help me translate that song, I would enjoy it that much more.
Yeah.
That's why I think videos, TikTok, YouTube, any visual creation to go along with the song is key, especially with a young artist that doesn't have a fan base.
Yeah. It's hugely important. I mean, we can go business wise, say for marketing and for social, but like you said, for the listener, the fact that you have a visual, it's kind of like like you said, it fills in the blanks and give them more. And I've always believed this in business. I'd rather give you more than you're asking for because you're supporting me. Why not? But videos are hugely important in the process.
What role does mental health play in the hip hop genre?
Well, of recently, it's become hugely important. It was something that's hugely taboo because
Is that fair?
it's absolutely not fair. It's not fair in life. You know, right now the fact that it's accepted and it's hugely important because we're all human beings at the end of the day. And we're not robots. Like we said before, you couldn't be angry all the time. And if you're angry all the time, you need to talk to somebody. And there's nothing wrong in saying that. We should be like, hey, you know what? I'm not doing okay. And if you can do that in a song and let all of that out of you, that's a blessing. Because if you're antisocial, you're only speaking to the mic. Even though the world is hearing it. But it's hugely important to get it out your system. And in the hip hop, a lot of people may look at that as like when I say people, I'm talking about actual other artists. Oh, you know what? He's talking about being soft right now. That's something I could use to attack him or whatever. But it's to me, none of that's okay. It's like if somebody got an issue and they want to find a way to resolve that, like we've been told, put your hands on their back, man. Don't put your hands in their face. Put your hands on their back. Like, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, man, and you got to be able to let that stuff out your mind, man, like in your body, like let it out.
Do you feel that hip hop addresses mental health? And
Yes.
and what I mean is that I understand what you're saying, but I know in indie music, there are so many organizations out there that promote themselves to all artists and say, look, we're here to help you. And in Nashville, it's kind of, they push a little bit harder because they're here.
Yeah.
Do you think the hip hop world as a whole knows that access or knows that those people and organizations are out there?
And now they do. And I'm going to say that because, oh man, his name escapes my mind. It's actually an artist. Oh man, I'm upset that his name. He actually, hugely independent artist. One of the titles of his song was the Suicide Hotline. The entire song was about, you need to call this if you need help. There's another artist right now, Joyner Lucas, super dope lyricist. He has 2 albums out. One is called ADHD. The other one's called ADHD 2. And he's talking on his album about, there's times I can't write and I can't be creative because my mind's somewhere else and I can't bring it back. So right now it's a great space like exit plan is about mental health. Like, let it go. And it's a great space to be in right now where you can walk there, and even though hip hop was based on bravado and tough guy, tough guys have issues too. You know, sometimes tough guys are tough guys because of the issue. Let's resolve that.
All right. Well, I need to take a quick intermission, but I have a couple of really good questions I would like to come back to here in just a minute.
All right, y'all. What's up? My name's Harkos. I edit everything around here at Two Beers of the Band podcast, but I wanted to hop in here real quick and let you know a little bit about my podcast called Music Making Sense Podcast. All links are available at mmcpod.com, of course. But what is Music Making Sense Podcast? Well, it's a podcast designed and dedicated specifically to music marketing, branding, and how to have success. Real success as an independent artist. I'm constantly dropping videos that dive deep into strategies and tips and tricks that you can use as an independent artist to help you grow your fan base in a real and sustainable way. So if you're an independent artist struggling with the marketing and trying to do everything DIY all at the same time and could use some help, come on by Music Making Sense Podcast. All links are available at mmcpod.com. And if you're not an independent artist, but you happen to know someone who is struggling with their music marketing, again, mmcpod.com for any and everything Music Making Sense Podcast. All right, I'm going to shut up now and get back to this great conversation.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
You are absolutely covering all the grounds and beyond. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. You know what? Because you're asking a lot of questions that I would end interviews and be like, I wish the answer this. So yeah, I'm. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm super comfortable. Your questions are like thought provoking. Like, wow, you're really making me dig in these memories now.
Well, I've always been that way. I've always been curious about everything.
Yeah.
And I love music, and I love classic cars, race cars. I've always been curious about all of it. Everything about a classic car, everything about music. And a lot of people think because I was born and raised in Nashville, oh, you're a country music fan. I am, but real country music, not this new stuff coming out. That's California country. It's got a lot of click tracks. It's got a lot of overproduction in the studio, and it doesn't tell a story. I like a song that tells a story. It doesn't matter what genre of music it is. If it tells a story, I want to hear it. And
I'm with you.
Classic blues music, classic R&B music, classic country music, classic rock music, or what some people say hippie music. It tells a story.
Yeah.
And I want a song that tells a story. I don't want a song that creates an image, a still shot. And they talk about that for 3.5 minutes. Well, that's no fun. That doesn't take me anywhere. Take me somewhere. You have my attention for 3.5 minutes. Take me somewhere besides where I'm at right now, because I'm listening to you and giving you my attention. So prove you're worth 3.5 minutes of my time.
Absolutely.
And that's the way I approach music. And a lot of people, when I meet people in Nashville from other parts of the country or other parts of the planet, they're like, oh, you don't only listen to country music? I'm like, I actually listen to about that much of country music because it's moving, it's transitioning into something else. And I'm just right now, it's not my thing. So I love music. This is music city. It's not country music city. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. There's so much more in this city than just country music. There's so many different other scenes, R&B, hip hop, blues. I mean, there are clubs here that, and indie rock, pop, and the subgenres in that, it's just everybody thinks, oh, you're Nashville, all country music. There's so many. It's called Music City. It's not country music city.
Absolutely.
And that's
No boxer. No boxer. That's like something I learned when I was young. No boxers. You know, that's like New York. Like two things I don't like when people. Two things. Two, I guess, boxes people try to put me in. New York City rap and 90s hip hop. Right? Or they call it boom bap. And I tell
I've
people,
heard that
like,
term.
that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what those things are. I'm like, that's not me. I say, because when I'm sitting there, I'm not saying, oh, I'm gonna make something boom bap. I'm actually sitting there saying that Leonard Skinner song had a really dope drum section. I don't want to emulate it, but I want the feeling they gave me. And then I sit there and say, Marvin Gaye had this vocal sound. So I tell people, like, no, I don't sit there and make boom bap music. I make music.
You mentioned, I'm sorry, Leonard Skinner. What is a Leonard Skinner song that you like or you enjoy?
You know what? You might laugh at this. My brother does all the time. That's something I can't do. I have like 7 Leonard Skinner songs. I have Def Leppard albums. But I've never, because you know what it is with me? When I listen to a song, it's not the title. I'm like, ooh, wait. I'll take my vinyl and I'll rewind it and I'll listen to that section. I could pull out the album and in the vinyl right now and go like this. That's where the drum pattern is. And my brother's like, it's this song. And I'm like, I the song titles, the song albums. I'm a huge Marvin Gaye fan. I can't tell you Marvin Gaye's albums, the name of his albums. But I could tell you what that drum pattern is. I can tell you what that vocal stand is. So I grew up with so much, and that's another thing. Like when growing up, so I would listen to a Leonard Skinner song, right? I would grab a record, listen to the song, take it off, throw a Dolly Parton record on, take it off. I throw or Isaac Hayes record on, and the fact that I wouldn't listen to whole albums, I guess you could say I was DJing my own. I couldn't remember the titles. Like I would sit there and be like, "Oh, that's Sexual Healing," and my brother be like, "No, this is Rick James." I'm like, but the bass line went like this. And be like, "Yes, that's this song, but what's the title? I don't know."
So, Dolly Parton, Leonard Skinner, Def Leppard, Rick James. Kind of sounds like maybe you've been on my playlist. But what are the top 6 presets in your car? What are they set to as far as music goes?
Oh man, you are. Let me tell you, sir, you are at it. Wow. Okay. The number one is it's called WCBS, and it's what would you? It's 60s and 70s soft rock.
Okay.
That's that. When I hit number one, that's what comes out.
I got you.
Number two is a station out here in New York. It's called the Block. It's called the Block. It's all 90s hip hop and R&B. Number three is it's not a slow jam, it's a doo-wop station. So it's all Delphonics, Frankie Avalon, all of that. Then number four is the main hip hop R&B station, Hot 97. Right after that, it's a BLS, which is like R&B, ballads, that type of music. Yeah.
Which one is your favorite?
Oh, that's what I was working, a doo-wop station.
Or when you flip through those stations, are you already in a place in your head where you want to hear certain styles of music? So you immediately go to that station and just kind of let it play and let it feel and see where you're at.
So I don't want to get deep, but there's different philosophies that you would know because you're a music connoisseur. First of all, it's the emotion. What's my day like?
Agreed.
Here's the thing. If I'm angry, I listen to the opposite music. If I'm angry, I'm listening to ballads. Like if I had a bad day, I'm either throwing doo-wop or the ballad song. I do not at all listen to any hip hop on a day I'm recording, on a day I'm focused. Like if I have a track in my mind, because I don't want to be influenced. If I'm feeling super creative, but I have no ideas what's going on, like nothing's hit me, I'll listen to soft rock because progressive rock inspires the hell out of me. I listen to soft rock, I listen to progressive rock. Ballads throw me off when I'm in that vibe. But and I listen to doo-wop because I like the harmony.
Do you ever have writer's block?
Yeah. So what I do is after throwing the notebook and wanted to pull my hair out, which I don't have any. What I do is two guys that I don't care what writer's block I'm in, actually three guys. They always inspire me and they can trigger something. Bob Marley, Marvin Gaye, and Nas.
Three classics.
Three classics. Absolutely.
What do you want your fans to supporters, to take away from our conversation, this interview?
I want them to first and foremost know that I'm neither beneath nor above them. My dad used to tell me, you don't look down on nobody, you look up to nobody. You look them in their eyes.
Damn right.
I want them to know that even though I make music for me, I know there's various versions of me. And that's who I'm making music for. And to know, man, like, no matter what you're going through, there's somebody out there who's rooting for you, and there's somebody out there who's willing to help you.
When you were young and in those positions of anger, if you will, with early hip hop, was there someone out there for you? Did you feel that the people you listen to, the artists you listen to, did you feel like you were getting that from them?
Oh, yes. First and foremost, Raquel. what he would speak about was first, he was the first to switch up the cadence in hip hop. He was the first to let people know you can have a monotone vocal. He let people know that you can be highly intelligent and do this. So there's Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy. It's a long list, man. Gucci Bop. Nas. When Nas came out, to me, that was Rakim's kid. He made me go, I'm not the only one who puts rhymes inside of rhyme. I thought I was an alien. Yeah. Those guys really helped me. Paris one. Woo.
Well, I like to end all my episodes by asking the same question. What are 2 questions you wish someone would ask you in an interview that you've never been asked, and what are the answers to those questions?
I made a little list and I'm trying to go through it.
Well, while you're working on that, let me throw one out. How are you? How are you right now?
How am I? Like, I'm great. I'm in a great space. I'm surrounded by amazing people. And you know what? That was number 4 on my list. That was number 4 on my list. So I feel, you know what? It's all gratitude. And it's not to say that things aren't happening or things are popping up and anything, but I'm in a space right now where I'm like, I'm good. You can't take me off of my square. Like, I'm good. I'm brave. Wow. See, questions you asked, I'm like, he even asked me my question. The other one was, did you ask me this? Why do I write? I always ask people, like, nobody's ever asked me, why do I write the music that I write?
Why do you?
So okay. Rakim and Nas, right? My 3 favorite MCs. Rakim, I'm sorry, we're going to go number 1, Rakim, number 2, Nas, and number 3 is my brother, Sue. He goes by the name of Mr. Matrix. Why I write what I write, and the 4th person is not that she's an MC, but my wife. I write what I write because those 4 people, I would like to make them say, wow. So when I write, there's so many, I've learned to stop thinking about people catching this. But I write so intricate that I want you to know that if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's a story. But if you do understand what I'm saying, there's a bigger and deeper story inside the story. And those 4 people, when I write, I sit and I say, did Rakim get that line? Think Nas will get that line? You know, like, so that's why I write. Man.
Do those people listen to your music and get those lines?
My wife or my brother does. And it's funny because sometimes they get what I don't think they would get. I have a line in one of my songs on Hit Therapy. It's called the Lori Jacket Liner. It's one of those songs that I wrote where it's not a story, but I want to get so crazy with the English language that I want people to be like, what? Wait, was that? So I say a line. I say, je ne parle pas François, mon scribe. I say the French line. I say, je ne parle pas François, mon scribe. What it means is, I don't speak French, sir, but I studied it so I could say it correctly. But in the song, I said it incorrectly. And that's intentional because I don't speak French.
I like that. Oh, I like that. Very creative, very artistic.
Right.
When fans contact you about your music that you sing or write for your wife, yourself, your children, and they say, this song really spoke to me at this level, do you correct them on the music, or do you kind of let them say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I agree with that. I'm glad you translated it in this way.
I never correct them because I know they're not in the room, not even in the room. I know they're not in me to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. So when someone tells me this line you wrote, I know it meant this. And I know, I'm like, that's not what it meant. But I'm grateful because art is subjective. I don't know what you're going through at the moment, that metaphor may have took you somewhere else. And it's a beautiful thing because the goal is to evoke an emotion. You remembered the line. The line meant something to you. Even if it didn't mean what I wanted it to mean, but it meant something. So I never correct.
Can you take that and turn that into another song? Like you wrote a song about your relationship with your wife, but someone contacts you and says, I understand this, and this is how I translate it in a completely different direction. Can you take that and translate that into a separate song?
Yes. So what I would do with that is I have a dry erase board. And that dry erase board is ideas. So what I don't do ever is I never force music. Right? And I can give you a short story which relates to this completely. On the album Hip Therapy, there's a song called Baby. First verse is dedicated to my oldest kid, and the second verse is dedicated to my youngest kid. The song took me 20 years to write. No lie.
20 years.
Because 20 years, because my son saved my life. Because before him, there was no direction. I didn't have my dad. My dad was gone. My family was gone. Like, just my sisters were there. When I say, my mom was there, but when I say my family's gone, like all the cousins I looked up to, all my uncles, like none of them were there. So I took the path that was mostly traveled for people who lived on my block. My son, I looked at him one day and I saw me in his eyes behind plexiglass, which meant I saw me being locked up through his eyes. And I say, you know what? No matter the amount of money, no matter the amount of luxuries, no matter the amount of jewelry, cars, nothing can equate to how I look in his eyes. And since then, I've been looking for the right beat, and I've been writing and writing and writing, trying to figure out the right way to say it. And so that is me saying if somebody took one of my songs and it was a whole different concept, I would write the concept down. And when the emotion hits me, or universal like, write it, then I'll do it. But I would never sit there and be like, come on, man, you ain't no rapper, you ain't know. I'll always sit there and be like, oh, let's see if we can do something with that. Yeah, absolutely.
How many unfinished songs do you have?
You asked that question like you've looked in my hard drive.
Maybe I
I
have.
I got a ton, man. I got a ton of beats that are unfinished, and I got a ton of songs. Like I got songs where it may just be a hook. I got songs where it just may be the first line of a hook. I got songs where I got 3 verses and no hooks. And it's not like I sit there, I'm not the type of person like, oh, no, I can't think of a hook. Let me send it to somebody. The only person I send music to is my brother when I'm not sure what to do with it. But those songs, I'm like, no. It's not for a singer or it's not for another rapper to do the hook. It's for me to do it. I just can't figure out the words or I can't figure out the concept of the hook or what the hook should be. But I got, you don't want a number. 200 songs? Right now, I got 30 beats I didn't finish last month. And I finished like 40 beats. Yeah.
How do you sleep at night with all that unfinished art in your head?
Great question. I used to not be able to sleep because the thoughts wouldn't stop. My wife gets annoyed because if my head touches the pillow, it's over. I literally say, hey, if we're having a conversation, are we done with this conversation? Yeah, or we're done. Because I'm out of here. So what I've learned to do, my wife said something to me one day, came home from work and I had an attitude because I had a bad day at work. And she said, you know what, from now on, you and I, we never bring work home. And I was like, you know what, you right. So if I'm frustrated about the day or she is, we have a conversation about how the day was crazy. But it's not her fault that I had a bad day at work and vice versa. So I translate that into, you know what? It took this beat as far as I could right now. I understand that the faucet closed. So how much it be? I might be in the mood 2 days from now, press and play on that, and hearing something. I might be listening to the slow jam station and be like, hey, that guitar sounds dope. Maybe I should use acoustic guitar. But I don't, I've learned to shut down when I know that it's off. And that's been a blessing because I would stay up. Sometimes I stay up 2 or 3 days, like, well, I can't get this hook. I don't fight it. That was forcing. I don't fight it no more. When it hits me, I think I utilize it. I don't take advantage of it. I utilize it. And when the pen stops, and stops. That meant right there at that moment it was supposed to stop. The next idea will come to me. So I've learned to sit and take comfort with that.
So as an indie creative,
yeah,
when it flows, run with it. When it stops, let it go, rest, move on, wait for it to come back.
Yeah. Yes.
So many young creatives push and push and push, and they hit that wall, and then they suffer depression or various other things. Why can I not push through this? Because they feel they have to finalize the thought, the creation. And over time, you've discovered, let it go, man. Let it come to you when it comes to you.
Yes.
Do you tell your artists you work with, the same thing.
Yeah. What I tell them is, you can't force it. Now, what? Okay, well, I tell them stop forcing. Forcing leads to insecurity. It leads to doubt. It leads to you questioning yourself. All of that. Now, what I do tell them is there's nothing wrong with collaborating. So you may find inspiration in someone else. You're a creative. So go experience other creators. Go to a comedy show, go to a museum, look at paintings, listen to a different genre of music, go watch a movie, go read a book, go take a walk. Nature. That was a creation. Go enjoy it. Go look out the window and see the. Well, for me, it's not mountains, it's New York City, but go look at the mountain. Go see something. Wherever you're at, change that. If if I'm really like super feeling, if I'm feeling like, yo, I feel like I could write a whole album today, and I stop after the first verse, I leave that room. I take the pen and pad with me. Now I write on my phone, but I take it, I leave my notepad open, and I leave the room. I may go in the kitchen and be like, oh, and it hit me. I may go outside and just take a walk and it hit me. I may go to dinner with my wife and so change your environment. Don't force it, but go seek inspiration. You never now. The thing about seeking inspiration is don't seek it intentionally, meaning I'm gonna go to the museum so I can finish writing the song. No, just go to the museum. Go be inspired by something different.
How many young artists take that to heart and do what you say?
Very few. Very few. The numbers are always going to be low because of all the variables. They're young, they know it all. I know what I'm doing. You're not in my space. So, some of them, in the course of a conversation, you know who's going to listen. You can even be talking about something different, but in the course of a conversation, when you see someone like the eyes open, like, oh, when you got somebody that's like, yeah, you're like, you're not paying attention. But very few, and it's the very few that make the biggest impact. So they got you feeling, they may have me like, oh man, you did it. That's awesome. You heard what I said, but you utilized it correctly. Or they may just hear you and not say anything, but you see the work. And you're like, oh, okay. You were paying attention. Very few.
All right. In summation of this beautiful interview where I learned so much, what is the last thing you want to say to all your fans / supporters, R&B enthusiasts nationwide?
Thank you. First and foremost, thank you. Because I know you could be listening to anybody else. You could be doing anything else. But you taking the moment to listen to what was on a pad, what was on the hard drive, or even in my head all scrambled up. The fact that you took your time out to do that, to accept that, to appreciate that, I am so grateful for all of y'all. Yes, there's a ton more to come. But seeing those numbers, bro, when I say numbers, like when I see 5 people on the email list and I see 100, and these are people who want to be on the list and want to know what's going on and what's coming along, y'all give me the greatest feeling ever of being heard, of being listened to, and being appreciated. Thank all of y'all, man.
What's next for you?
What's next for me? The next album is called Transition. And we are, I want to say 92% done with it. Transition, the concept of transition is I'm speaking from the 20-year-old Admonish, speaking to the current Admonish. So you'll hear songs on there where you're going to hear me speaking reckless. You're going to hear me talking about the things that excite me at the moment when I was 20. Cars, the jewelry, the clothes, the money. And then in the same song, you're going to hear a verse where I'm telling myself, none of that really means nothing. And there's actually a bigger purpose. So transition is you listening to the transition of Admonish from 20 up to who I am now.
All right. Well, I have really enjoyed this conversation. And I hope to have you back again because I have so many more questions, but we're kind of up against the wall right now. So where can people find you, supporters, fans? And I know we've gone over it earlier, but I want to go over it again. Any social media handles, any music Spotify, just where can someone find you?
First, I want to say, Chris, thank you so much for the interview. And yes, the interview was inspiring. Listen, when you took your break, I was on there like, I got some ideas. I'm grateful for the questions. The questions are absolutely amazing. You push the envelope, and the envelope that you push, I'm grateful for and appreciative. And you pushing for these memories. As far as everyone reaching out to me, as we were speaking of earlier, branding, everything is Admonish Music. One word, Admonish Music. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, every form of social media, it's Admonish Music. And I'm on every streaming service. And the streaming services, everything, again, is Admonish Music. You can find me everywhere. Amazon, even.biz. You can find me on all of them. And the main place you can find me, admonishmusic.com. So everywhere you're at, it's Admonish Music. And Chris, man, like I said, thank you. Thank all the supporters. Thank you for this incredible interview. So grateful, man. Thank you.
Well, thanks to everyone for making it to this part of the video. If you enjoyed this episode, leave me a comment below. If you didn't enjoy this episode, let me know why. If you have any questions that you would like me to ask in future interviews with other artists or the next time Admonish comes on to the show, leave me a comment. Check out my guest at their social media pages and let them know you heard them here. And thank you. Have a great week.
I'ma make it good, and that's my word bond. Go ahead and test me. Let's see if I fold like Nestle. Trust me, I'm blessed. We don't test me. Professionally, I dispose of those who question me. Still nasty with the words. My third ain't bird. I got it from the curb, put it to action like a